Pegadinha é o caralho, meu nome agora é Zé Pequeno, porra.
City of God is a Brazilian crime drama directed by Fernando Meirelles and co-directed by Kiate Alund. Released in 2002, the film is based on real-life events and characters growing up in the violent and impoverished Cidade de Deus, or City of God, a city district of Rio de Janeiro. The film offers a raw and unflinching portrayal of life in the favela, depicting the harsh realities faced by its inhabitants, including poverty, violence, the struggle for survival, and the cycle of violence that perpetuates within the marginalised community. I want to highlight how the urban environment of City of God is characterised and brought to life, and how it is one of the finest examples of creating a living, breathing, kinetic world ever put to film. City of God is portrayed as vibrant, fast, and ever-changing. A sense that we are just glimpsing into one moment or era of this world. A sense of realism is found throughout the film and can be seen through the style of how the film is shot. The film is shot with a documentary feel and stylings. The camera is always handheld and moving, adding a kinetic energy, especially through the violent and action-packed scenes, with it often spinning and whipping from character to character with a seeming franticness, simulating the adrenaline-filled movements and sights of the characters in that moment. As Stephanie Moore describes the film, opposing or colliding shots move from one mode to another. High to low angles, close-up to long shots, movement within the frame, left to right to left, up to down. The camera would always convey a sense of personality and often would react to how a real person would within the scene, employing use of double takes and odd camera angles.
Virei playboy.
Sometimes literally flipping upside down to film a conversation between two characters. The sense of realism is further shown by how the film treats its characters and how unconventionally it introduces them. Characters are often introduced in natural, non-dramatic ways within scenes, often entering in the background or at a quick glance within the scene. Both Little Dice, Slayer, Little Zay, and Knockout Ned, the two most important characters of the climax, are introduced in this method, as well as a plethora of other characters such as Carrot and Steak and Chips, who are introduced during montages. By establishing all these characters in this way, it gives them equal weight within the narrative. This realism grounds everyone within a space, and we see how everyone in the film has a relationship and are interconnected. This in turn allows for chance encounters to happen within the film, and that's exactly what these introductions feel like, chance encounters. Often scenes of the film are dedicated just to these encounters. We see Rocket and the Runts interacting, building that relationship, Benny and Thiago. Even the opening of the film is a chance encounter between Little Zay and Rocket. Showing us these interactions provides a sense of realism in the City of God, showing us how this world operates and how no characters are too small for the film or to the viewer. City of God establishes this sort of city within the city with the favela. Depicting the changing nature of the slum, the favela itself features as a major character within the film. It feels completely separate from the city of Rio, and the film focuses completely upon it, showing us only this city, the city that the characters know. It accomplishes this by never letting us see the Rio that we, the audience, are familiar with. The tourist-filled beaches and Christ the Redeemer statue is never once glimpsed within the film. Establishing shots are noticeably absent, and the film scenes tend to start halfway through, and the most we'll ever get is a brief shot of a building or an alleyway. What the film does instead is provide its own landmarks within the favela. We repeatedly see a specific square or alleyway, as well as Carrot's apartment and the large pavilion being reoccurring spaces within the film. These locations are visited often, and a character may only be passing through them, but it allows the audience to build their own mental image of the city, placing it within a realistic space for the audience, allowing us to keep track of the world, keeping it contained. During the climax, we see Rocket running through the city, visiting all the spaces that we already know, grounding a reality within the City of God. The film trains us to recognize and be familiar with the world, just as the characters are, further immersing us within the film. In summary, City of God brilliantly captures the pulse of life within the favela, presenting a raw and immersive portrayal of its urban environment. through its documentary-style approach and unconventional character introductions, the film draws viewers into a vibrant and perilous world. By emphasizing the characters' interconnectedness and creating a palpable sense of space, audiences navigate the streets and landmarks alongside these characters. They develop a deep connection to the world of City of God, proving it to be a perfect example of creating a palpable living space on film.